Hi, I'm Paul and welcome to the channel. Well, it's finally road trip time. We're heading up the mid-north coast of New South Wales. The plan is to go to Pebbly Beach, about 25 k's north of Coffs Harbour, for about 3 or 4 days, but we have another 8 or so days to fill in, so we've decided to check out more of the campsites within the Yuraygir National Park. And this video, our first of its type, is about the campgrounds we visit, how to book into them, and what they have to offer. Be sure to watch it through to the end for a full video montage of all the locations we've stayed at. And don't forget, if you're interested in more videos on low or no cost camping locations, reviews of camp related equipment, off-roading or overlanding as some are starting to call it these days, do-it-yourself camping hacks, visits to other popular locations you might find interesting, and even some how-to videos with hints and tips on how to make your own travel films, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you find this video in particular interest, hit the like button. Okay, so enough office talk, it's getting late, so let's get going. And remember, do what brings you to life and go where you feel most alive.
Pebbly Beach has got to be one of the best low-cost beach campgrounds in New South Wales for the adventure traveller, and is certainly one of its best kept secrets. It's located within the Yuraygir National Park, about 25 kilometres north of Coffs Harbour. To get there, turn off the M1 onto McPhillips Road and then follow the dirt tracks through the forest. When you come to the turn off for Pebbly Beach, follow the signs to the right. Importantly, it is recommended that high clearance four-wheel drive vehicles only continue from here, and as the rest of the way is on sand, you may also want to lower tyre pressures before continuing. Try around 15 psi to start with, and if you have a trailer, don't forget to lower its tyre pressures too. The next few kilometres are over a tight, mostly single-lane sand-based track that opens out onto an incredible view of Station Creek Beach. Follow this to Station Creek Crossing and access into the Pebbly Beach campgrounds.
We'll keep on reaching up to the sky.
The crossing is the main reason for needing a four-wheel drive vehicle, as it's tidal, which means it's best to cross at low tide. Although a reasonable four-wheeler should easily get across at any time the tide has dropped, it's up to you. But be careful, the Ranger has rescued many a trapped vehicle in the past.
Cause we got the world and we can go anywhere. So where do we go? We can go anywhere. We can go anywhere. Cause we got the world and we can go anywhere. So where do we go from here? Where do we go? Where do we go?
Pebbly has 70 campsites available, and you can now select and book your favourite site instead of just turning up and finding a spot after making a booking. Bookings can be made on the New South Wales National Parks website if you're at home, on the phone app if you're already on the road, or there is a 1300 phone number you can call. The following section of video explains how to use the phone app. If you'd like to see the same explanation showing their website, please leave a comment below. Firstly, open the app, then use the search bar at the top of the page to type in the name of the campground you want to stay at, and then select it from the options below. There is very detailed information here about each campground, where everything from a basic campground overview to any current alerts for the area and how to get their details can be found. Under Price and Bookings, if you select the Book Now button, you'll be redirected to the booking site. Read through the terms and conditions, then tap on the button and hit accept, and then you'll be able to make your reservation. The first thing to do is select your check-in and check-out dates from the small calendars. The map shows which campsites are available in green dots and the already booked sites are red. You need to physically select a green dot to reserve it, which can be a bit tricky if you have large fingers, but I found zooming in on the app page makes it easier. The next thing to do is add how many occupants there will be and then tap on the Get a Quote button. If you're happy with the quote given, you have a 10-minute countdown timer to confirm the booking. Tapping the Next button will take you to the confirmation page. Then all you have to do is follow the prompts. Insert your details, the type of vehicle you have, read and confirm the terms and conditions, and finally enter your card details for making payment. Our stay was about $12 per person per night, which was pretty good value. It's important to note that bookings for all New South Wales National Park campgrounds are a necessity. You cannot just turn up and expect to set up a camp, especially in the current climate. Don't forget, a New South Wales National Parks entry fee is also required, usually about $8 per day per car unless you have an annual parks pass. Quick tip, you can get one each year with your New South Wales vehicle registration at a reduced rate that covers all New South Wales national parks other than Kosciuszko. And lastly, if it's a national park, pets are unfortunately not allowed. The facilities at Pebbly are drop pit toilets only, but they are very good. They're well maintained and cleaned daily, and I noticed recently they were listed as due to be refurbished early this year. Importantly, it is necessary to bring your own water for drinking, cooking and showers. Fires are permitted and free firewood is also available and can be collected on your way in next to the rubbish and recycling facilities at Station Creek Pebbly Beach turnoff. Unfortunately, we didn't see this information before our visit and missed it on our way through. Regular visitors familiar with the area head across the river at low tide each day to access the main beach for fishing or a picnic. Again, something we unfortunately learnt too late. Low tide is also the best time to take rubbish to the skip bins, and with some of the wildlife around it's best not to attract them to your campsite. And besides, while you're there you can collect more firewood. Although Pebbly's main campground beach is good for swimming, surfing and fishing, the place of choice for most people seems to be next to the river crossing. The water isn't too deep, it was clean and clear, and families seem to spend most of the day swimming and playing in that area. If you keep an eye out, you might even see a stingray swim by. Pebbly is an amazing touch of paradise away from the crowds with lots to do and see, or you can just chill at your campsite or on the beach. And don't forget two very important things when your stay is over. Firstly, leave your campsite as you found it, which includes completely extinguishing your fire. And secondly, be aware of the tides so you can get access across the creek and head home when you want to. The Redcliffe and Lake Arragan campgrounds has 90 campsites spread out over 6 different camp areas. As with all New South Wales National Park campsites, bookings are essential and can also be made through the app on your phone. The booking system has also recently changed and now you can select which site you want to camp on. The cost for our stay was again about $12 per person per night. Lake Arragan is a coastal lagoon system that has a tidal flow and many campsites on the banks of its feeding creek. The main campgrounds are Redcliffe North, Redcliffe Greycliffe, Redcliffe Central and Redcliffe South, as well as the Paperbark Campground, named after the multitude of paperbark trees on the banks of the lake. Clearly, the highlight of the area is the deep ochre red cliffs and the views from the top toward Lake Arragan in the north and the town of Brooms Head in the south. The facilities, although drop pit toilets, are very well maintained and cleaned daily, also having a sensor light in case you need to make that late night dash in the dark. Unfortunately, there are no showers, but there is fresh drinking water available up by the main entrance to the campground. Fires are allowed, and during our stay firewood could be purchased through the ranger at a very reasonable rate. Redcliffe Main Beach is popular for surfing and fishing, but very rocky underfoot. The beach in front of Redcliffe North Campground seems to be slightly calmer at the southern end and more sandy. There's an abundance of wildlife in the area that can be seen during the day and at night. Kangaroos, butterflies. One afternoon we nearly ran over a python as we were driving back to camp, and on another day while riding our e-bikes around the campground loop, we got snapped at by a baby brown snake. At night, it became apparent just how far south the scourge of Queensland has spread, as the cane toads came out in the forests, along with green tree frogs and other creatures. Overall, the Redcliffe and Lake Arragan campgrounds offer an amazing location without breaking the bank. With just about everything you'll need available for a pleasant stay, the only thing missing are showers, but that's something that can be taken care of easily by bringing your own. Woody Head Campground is in the neighbouring Bundjalung National Park. Woody Head has 94 campsites available, as well as a handful of cottages and cabins. The facilities here are outstanding and as good as any caravan park. There are toilets and showers, although you do need a $1 coin for the showers, so don't forget to bring some along. There are picnic tables and electric barbecues scattered around the grounds, drinking water and a very active boat ramp. Fires are permitted, and as a bonus there is also free firewood available from the storage area next to the offices. At the time of our stay it cost us about $17 per head per night, a little more expensive but well worth it. We actually came across Woody Head by accident while looking for somewhere to stay for just one night, and luckily found the only site available for that day. It was only a short visit, but we will definitely return to experience everything the area has to offer. We also spent a few days at the beautiful town of Red Rock on the southernmost tip of the Yuraygir National Park. We stayed in the Reflections Caravan Park as the only option available, so costs were a little bit more, but still pretty reasonable at about $45 a night for the both of us. The park is lovely, very busy, and has good amenities including a new shower block and electric barbecues. There is a short walk to Big Beach for surfing and beach fishing, and a slightly longer walk or a short drive through the caravan park to the arguably prettier Little Beach, where almost everyone seems to head during the day. The Corindi River is tidal and makes for a great spot to swim, paddle or kayak when the tide is in, but be careful when it's going out or you may end up a bit further downstream than planned.
Rising sun hits the sky, see it open before us. Take these hopes, hold them high, every step takes you closer. Oh, 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 oh. The stars will show us. Oh, 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 oh. It's all waiting for us. Every turn a living color, heaven knows what we'll discover. A story in the making, the world is ours for the taking.
Open fields, distant shores, every anticipation. Getting lost, we'll explore with no hesitation. Oh, 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 oh. The stars will show us. Oh, 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 oh. It's all waiting for us. Every turn a living color, heaven knows what we'll discover. A story in the making, at the start of something. Later there we could uncover, holding on to all this wonder. A story in the making, the world is ours for the taking. Rising sun hits the sky.
Take these hopes and hold them